So this is the playground?
Yes. And it's changed a little bit.
From when you started
From when we started it, yes.
This playground is one of Amanda McDougald Scott's many wins as she worked to support the Ruby H. Jones Head Start Center.
I haven't talked to many people whose favorite memories in childhood didn't involve being outside in some way.
She believes the opportunity for play is a great equalizer for children.
We looked at the data they had already collected, and the number one priority need for this community, the Nicholtown community, was affordable, accessible, quality child care. And so what we decided to do was pull Head Start back into the community.
With her various community leadership roles, a run for county council, and now serving as the chair of the Greenville County Democrats, McDougald Scott says politics is unpopular but important.
So many people run away from it now.
I know, and there are things that you should run away from, but overall, the thing that's the most important about politics to me is that there's so many things that happen in the community at like a very micro level, like neighborhoods, families, communities, going up, those are different levels. But policy is the thing that really determines what is possible.
What are your favorite things you've been able to do for the community that you're the most proud of?
I would say this is one of them, really, being able to listen to what the community needs were and then make a solution come into reality. That's a top one. And then this is so that they could do like mud pies or whatever.
While working on this Head Start Center, McDougald Scott had her son, catapulting child care issues to the top of her list.
Then I saw it from the parent side, and then when I took my son to child care, I got to know his teachers, which was really important to me to know like who has, the love of my life, my little boy, all day long. So anyway, I got to know them, and they started telling me about really the injustices of the child care system for child care workers.
It remains a focus of her passion, working for better policy.
Have you ever thought of yourself as a remarkable woman?
No.
Well, you are.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I was pretty surprised when I saw that, and also really touched that my husband nominated me.
Fantastic story there. Amanda McDougald Scott is our next finalist for the Remarkable Women finalist competition. Thank you so much for being here with us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, another outstanding story. And we were talking off the camera about Head Start and about going from the politician's mindset into the mother's mindset and how that shaped what you were working on with policy. I mean, that's a big thing to be able to do, and that's sometimes can be frustrating with, the political arena.
Sure.
Talk about how that becoming a mother and like looking at it from that perspective transformed what you were going to be working on around a table with some of the other policymakers here.
Well, actually, it's interesting. When I came to Greenville, it was because I had just gotten into Clemson, and I wanted to get more involved in the policy world, and that's why I was doing my PhD at Clemson. And then along that way is when I met Representative Chandra Dillard. And this was a community project that she was doing, and it's really, really important to her and to me that in politics and as an elected official, we don't forget the community that we serve.
Yeah.
And so for Chandra, or Representative Dillard, I've watched her over the years I've known her really live that out, and that's something, like I said, that's always been important to me ever since I first figured out that I wanted to be in politics when I was 22-ish. Just watching the elected officials who were making it a priority to be in the community and with people and hearing real stories was so important to me. And it's a big part of why and how I even am interested in politics. And so then to fully answer your question, being a mother and having this lived experience of how important child care is and how important the lives are, everybody at the table, the child care providers and the children and the other parents, everybody, all of that is such really, it should have such synergy. I mean, there's things that are missing.
And how critical Head Start is for certain communities. And it's important for all communities, but for me, you know, growing up in a community that didn't have a lot of resources, school was solace, right? And so it allowed you to be playful and creative and maybe things that you weren't able to do before. So in those, like the Nicholtown community, some of these other communities, Head Start is critical.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
in the early stages, for sure.
Absolutely. We knew that it needed to be something that was sustainable, so we didn't have to constantly be working on ways to maintain whatever child care we brought into Nicholtown. And Head Start was, you know, there as a perfect and viable opportunity. And I know that the stories that I've been told are that Ruby H. Jones, the reason it's named that the center is named that specifically is because it was her vision to bring Head Start back to Nicholtown, and so working together to make that a reality was wonderful.
In terms of supporting that Head Start Center, do you need volunteers? Do you need help? Do you need donations there?
I would have to check in and see exactly where they are. I know that the last time I talked to Representative Dillard about it and some of the people at Phyllis Wheatley, our dream and vision was to really expand it past the 2 and 3K classrooms, but I know that there still is a wait list. That was another thing we had to prove, that there was still a need and that there was a need for expansion. And so then, if that becomes reality, that we and the Nicholtown Child and Family Collaborative and Phyllis Wheatley decide to expand it, then yes, there will be a need for volunteers and,
awesome.
and money.
Well, we're so thankful to have you here and telling us a bit of your story. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.